an additional 200. Alright, there's circle. Another 1/4 inch on that. Alright, other side. Okay, there's 0. And 250. A little tiny bit of air. Alright, now we got to go ahead and bolt the two together with a spacer in between so we have a little bit of clamping, and then bore down through. We got set up, we got our two pieces together with a 1/16 oil paper sandwiched between the parts bolted together. We came in and we squared this up with a 1-inch block into the vise here, and we got a parallel underneath here, so it's actually sitting up off of the bottom. We got this vise nice and tight. We relocated off of the vise so we could come over and hit center line, and we're set up here with a center drill, and we're going to go ahead and poke the center drill, and then we're going to go through with a 1/2 inch drill, and then the stanchion, or the diameter that we're trying to finish up with, is 0.920 diameter is what was on the stanchion, but we have a 59/64 drill bit, which will be within that tolerance, and we have the 1/16 of an inch gasket material that we will be able to compensate and have some clamping in on the stanchion itself to hold this in place. So here we go. Alright, now we're going to slow it down and bring it on home. Alright, we set up the hub here, and we're trying to take it out to this diameter so that we could silver solder. Let's see, we're going to probably silver solder that in that direction right there, okay? And so we came down, we poked it out with an end mill, and now we got the boring head in here, and this is a Crichton boring head, very nice veneer on here, very accurate, and we're going to go ahead and see what speed we're at here. Let's go ahead and speed it up a little bit. About 50 thousandths there. Just going to give it a little cutting oil in here, or a little tap free there. All right, we got several more cuts to go before we get out to finished diameter there. But we're taking about 50 thousandths aside is what I'm trying to get in here. So we're not taking all day. This diameter is 1 inch 50 thousandths, so it's not like a nominal diameter end mill or anything else could fit in here and make it all in one cut. Unless you had 1 1/16", then we could put that in there and play with a little extra material. But okay, I might, with my veneers I got like 950, and on the tube I got like 1 inch 50, 1 inch 60. So we're about 100 thousandths away from finish here. All we want is a little clearance for silver solder to fill in around it, because that's how we're going to join it. Okay, now it should fit fine, and it does. Alright. So we'll set that up and silver solder that. We got one flat plate that comes off of here, and we're going to put a plug in the end just so it kind of dresses it off. Alright, I got this tube set up. I got this in a vise. I've got this leveled out. I've got it in line with the grooves in the table. This is clamped square and all that. I've pre-fluxed it so it's all set and good to go. And now we're going to go ahead and silver braze that joint right there. Alright, after it's cooled down, I go ahead and I blend in that silver solder right into the joint. We'll kiss this is a small part, so I will kiss it off on the my buffer in there. We'll do that later when we've got all the components done. Probably going to make one little rounded cap that goes on here. Now we get a flat blade that we got to fabricate here with a hole in it for a pin, and that's basically done. So we're going to work on the bolt that holds these two pieces together. And I haven't unbolted this yet, but that goes around the stanchion, mounts in a vertical position just like that, and that locates just like that in the assembled position. Slide the barbecue off, put the bracket away. This is just going to be a pull out against spring pressure, turn, and it'll pop back in just like that. There won't be no tools needed once this is done. Okay, we cut the bolt that we had. That was a strut bolt, a bronze bolt, and so we made it so we had all the shank out here, and inside here this is a spring we got, stainless steel spring, and we poked that down in there so that we knew how much the head we can have in there. We'd measure that depth. So what we did is just assemble this for right now. So we need to make a head, and we took the dimensions we ended up with. This diameter, 7/16 of an inch long, and it could be 9/16 on the diameter. Well, we had this piece of copper pipe, or bronze pipe here, and this is like 540 on the OD, perfect. And we can silver solder that clearance. It's excuse me, it's about 1,000, 2,000 clearance in there, so we can silver solder that. So we're going to part off a diameter there, or a length of that. All right, we got our head silver soldered on here, and we got this cleaned up and dressed up like we want. Now we want to put a screwdriver slot across here. Now this is a 16th wheel cutter, and we just got this setting up on a parallel tight-end vise so it's level and pushed against the jaws itself sideways. Alright, now this wheel cutter is on an arbor. These arbors, this is a good project if you're just starting out, or you want a project to make create tooling. This is just whatever shank you want for your mill. This is a 1/2 inch here, and this is a smaller one made for a smaller wheel. This diameter here, you turn the register to suit the register of the cutters you're using, and you have a female here, and this female should be registering on here. This is a mismatch here. This shouldn't be loose like that. It just happens to be sitting on this one here, and then an Allen bolt to tighten it up. Alright, and let's undo this one here and I'll show you. See, that register is snug to that. They should mate. They should slip, but they should mate so that your support is in next to the diameter that registers your cutter. Alright, that's just kind of a little rundown. But this is a good project to make. Alright, this is a 16th here, and we got 530 here. We're just going to bring this on over. We're going to touch that down on the top of there. We're going to set our dial here for 0, or we'd be setting the Bridgeport wheel here on the spindle with a quill at 0. And we'll go ahead and take half of our cutter. It's about 32, and we'll reset 0 right there. And we're going to crank in half of our part there. So there's 200, 250, that's the 5, and it's about 30, so we crank in another 15. Alright, we're going to lock it down there. It's a little fast. We're going to bring it on down to the low speed on the Bridgeport here. Even though that's bronze, there's no need to waste the cutter.